You are listening to the Estheticians Earn More podcast with Brittany Hageman, episode number 213. Happy Monday and welcome back. Hopefully this actually gets published on Monday. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. I also will be hopefully at the Face Reality Summit in Austin, Texas. So I'm so excited to meet so many of you. So please come up and say hi to me. I know this is actually going to be dropping when I'm there, but if you're happen to listening to it like where you're doing your makeup, I promise that I'm nice. Which reminds me of today's topic. I am going to give you some tough love today. Some tough love. And this is tough love I'm giving to myself as well. Because I need it too. Because I'm a human and I have a human brain just like you do. And that is how incredibly important, I almost dropped F-bomb, but I'd rather not on the podcast, how incredibly important it is to follow up with people. I cannot tell you enough how important it is. And I understand how unbelievably scary it can be. I know that because I live it too. I'm a human being, and following up with people can be intimidating and it can be scary and it can feel not great. But you have to lead your business. And what I mean by that is you have to make people think about it. And some people may not be interested in thinking about it, and that's okay. But if you don't take responsibility, you're going to consistently be frustrated. And this can be like, I see this with some of my clients that are pretty fully booked, then feel like out of nowhere, like a month comes by and they're like, I have so many less appointments than I normally do. Like, this is something I hear a lot. And the reason I'm saying this is I do coaching clients with my former one-to-one, so people who I haven't seen consistently in maybe a year or 6 months. So they'll schedule a call with me. And this is like one of the most common things they tell me is like, I was fully booked for X amount of months and now I'm less booked. Or if I'm working with a newer client and they are maybe like 3/4 booked and they want to become fully booked and they're like, I'm not fully booked, and they're really frustrated. Of course, there's marketing things. Of course, you need to bring in new clients if that's the case. But if you were in the camp where you were at one point fully booked and now you're not, of course, you're going to have attrition. Of course, people are going to move and, no longer want their service. Of course, but that rarely is a high amount of people. The number one reason that people have not booked an appointment with you is because they forgot. Of course, yes, it could be their budget. Of course, yes, like there's other circumstances. But I promise you, they forgot. I don't want you to take that personally. If you take that personally, we need to coach because it is not about you. You are taking something that is not about you and making it about you, and it's hurting you and it's preventing you from showing up with other people, and it's not helping the client either. It's not helping anybody. So what do I mean by that? Like, I'll give you an example of my business. Like I've been giving out samples to people. I follow up and ask them how they like it. There's a risk of people saying they don't like something. It does, and it's happened. And I'm like, oh, what do you not like about it? And if they tell me something and then somebody else tells me they don't like it for the same reason, and somebody else tells me, I'm like, ooh, maybe not a good product for me to sell. Even if I love the product. Like one of my cleansers in my line, I don't know how long it's going to be in my line, honestly. I really like the cleanser. And I have a handful of people who really like it too. But the overwhelming feedback I consistently get is, I don't really like the cleanser. Not a good cleanser to have in my line. Not a good cleanser. And I could take that really personally and think that it's something about me, that they don't like me. that they don't really understand skincare, because why this cleanser is so great, because it is a really good cleanser. Like from a esthetician perspective, I was like, it's a really well-made cleanser. But they don't like two things about it. They don't like the smell, and they don't like that it doesn't lather. Both of those things I think are great for reasons that they may not care about, right? So we don't me being curious and following up only gives me information to make better business decisions. So if you had 10 people that were consistently seeing you in the spring, if you're listening to this real time, we're in the fall now, and you have not seen those 10 people, and you have just assumed that they hate you and never want to come back again, or they can't afford it, or whatever you've assumed. And if you assume that following up with them and asking them how they are doing and connecting with them, which is what I teach my clients, is being pushy and salesy, you are wrong. You are wrong. So I've been telling my clients this because I've been coaching every client about this lately. So I'm like, I just have to make a podcast. And I'm not trying, there's no one I'm singling out, because it's everybody. It's literally everyone. And I've been telling them all the same story, which is I have been seeing someone here who I love, who's been sugaring me for probably over a year now. She would do my eyebrows like every few months because they don't grow very fast. And then my Brazilian. And long story short, my eczema and ingrown hairs have just been really bothering me. And so I was like, I'm just going to do laser. I decided to do laser. So I've been putting aside the money that I would normally do for the Brazilian into like a little savings account for laser. Okay. But I still need my eyebrows done. Now, I didn't tell her this last time I saw her because I hadn't decided. But I haven't seen her probably since June or May. It's been at least 3 months. And I have not heard from her. I have not gotten a DM. I have not gotten a text message. I have not gotten an email. And I saw her monthly for a long time. And I'm not putting her down. I know she's busy. But I wouldn't be like, God, she just wants her money. If she was like, hey, Brittany, how are you? I haven't seen you all summer. I hope you're doing good. How are things? How's your daughter? Normal, just like normal relationship building. It would be like if you went on a really great date with someone and they told you they wanted to see you again, and then you didn't hear back from them. Yes, of course, they could say, well, you should too. But people like to be pursued. People like to feel that they're important. If someone comes in and it's their first appointment with you and they don't rebook immediately for whatever reason, and a month goes by or 2 weeks go by, and you haven't reached out to them, that is on you. That's what you should be doing. It is not their responsibility. It's yours. And I say that with love because I'm laughing because I have on my to-do list next to me follow up with these different people I gave samples to. And everybody look at it, I'm like, I know what to do that. But I tell you, it is so simple. It takes no time at all. The only thing that it takes from you is dealing with the feeling of discomfort in your body. And I want to tell you that discomfort in your body will not hurt you. It will not kill you. It will not damage you. It will not hurt you. And it is a temporary feeling. I know you know this, but I want to remind you of this. I have to remind myself of this. I'm feeling uncomfortable right now. I don't want to do this. And yet, I'm going to do it because people want to hear from me. And if they don't, they just don't respond. Or maybe they see it and they forget, like me. If you DM me or email me and you don't hear back from me within a week, please do it again because I saw it and I forgot. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I really need a personal assistant. Right before this, I went to a networking event last week for my skincare line and I gave out samples. And one of the women texted me after, I don't know how she got my phone number. I need to find that out from her because it's definitely not like on any of my business stuff. I don't know how she got it. Anyway, she texted me, which is fine. And she asked me, like, just told me, like, it was nice to meet you. Great. Okay. Amazing. She's a realtor. So she's trying to build a relationship with me. Okay. And so I just texted her now. It's been about a week. And I said, hey, how are you? How's the skincare products? Like, have you had a chance to try them? Like, whatever. And she messaged me back, I haven't had a chance. I'll do it tonight. She forgot, listener. She forgot. Maybe she threw them away and then she's just being nice and she'll tell me tomorrow they work for her, whatever. That's the worst case scenario. But the best case scenario is that she forgot. She forgot. You know why? Because she's a mom and she has a full-time business and she has a life, and my skincare line is not her top priority. My testers for my skincare line have been so good at giving me feedback, but that is because I already have relationships with them and they agreed to be a tester and they agreed to help me. That's not always the case because I've had testers in the past for skincare lines I didn't own that I did not have that experience with. People are not going to make you their number one priority, even if you do acne. You know why? Because people are afraid of you just as much as you're afraid of them. They're afraid that their skin has gotten so bad that you're going to be mad at them, even though you've never been mad at them ever. They're afraid that it's been so long since they're Brazilian that you're going to lecture them about their skin and ingrown hairs, even though you don't talk to your clients that way. Like, they have fears about how you're going to behave that have nothing to do with you. Just like you have fears about how they're going to behave. That has nothing to do with them. They're a really nice person. They would love to hear from you. They forgot. They're in their own world, in their own life. They're busy. So you're making assumptions about them that are probably not true. Would you want them to make assumptions about you that are not true, or would you want them to give you a chance? Like, of course, you're not going to be mad at them for their skin or their hair or whatever. Of course, you know what I mean? Like, of course, you're going to just be so happy to see them. And if you're not so happy to see that person, do not follow up with them. If it's someone who you're like, I am so glad they're gone when they leave. We've all had clients like that where you're like, I literally used to burn Palo Santos. Is that how you call it? Like that, like it's like sage, but it's like a piece of wood. Is that what it's called? I'm sorry if I totally am saying something else. But I used to like burn that when I had clients that came in that were either not my favorite people or clients that like would share a really heavy story with me, that the energy was really heavy. And I would just like burn it away because I didn't want it to linger for the next person. So obviously, like if a person came in and they were really rude and like whatever, and they were like always rescheduling, like whatever, don't follow up with that person. But if it's a lovely client that you had a positive experience, you don't even know that well, but it was a positive first time you met them, treat them like someone you care about and how you'd want to be treated. It's so much easier to do that than to find a new client and replace them. It's so much more work to replace the client than it is to get a new one. And we act like following, and I say we because I'm including myself. We, you and me, we act like following up with people who have purchased from us in the past or have shown interest in our business in the past is clingy, desperate, money hungry, inauthentic. None of those things are true. What is true is we are human beings building relationships with people so that we can have a profitable, successful business. And when I follow up with people, like, okay, this person I just followed up with my skincare. If she was like, hey, Brittany, thanks for following up with me. I did try it and my skin was so itchy and I don't know why. I would be thrilled that she told me that. Even if this wasn't my own skincare line, I want to know what's going on because if it happens to her, it could happen to somebody else. And so if it happened to somebody else, I would know like, oh, it's because of X or maybe they're allergic to Y. I want to know this information. Or she's like, I tried the SPF. I loved it when I first put it on. At the end of the day, I was super oily or whatever. Like, I want to know what would prevent her from buying it. Just like I told you earlier with the cleanser, like many people have given me the same feedback, which is why I'm still looking for another cleanser because I have not found one that I have not, like every cleanser I've tried, people have strong reactions one way or the other. And none of my other products people have such strong reactions to. So I'm working on that. But if you believe you are bothering them, if you believe you are being desperate, then that's how it's going to come across. And if you are feeling desperate, if you are feeling like clingy, it may come across that way. So you gotta get your head right before you message these people. I always say you want to come with curiosity, actual curiosity for that person and their experience. They got a brow wax from you 3 weeks ago. Hey, Nicole, it's Brittany from BLH Beauty. I loved meeting you 3 weeks ago for your brow wax. How's your skin doing after the brow wax? I would love to know any feedback you have. I hope you're doing great. Maybe Nicole won't respond to me. Totally possible. Maybe Nicole will say, hey, Brittany, thanks for reaching out or whatever. I had a major reaction after, and I forgot to tell you. Great information. I need to find out more information. Maybe she's saying, I loved it, and I have totally forgotten to rebook. My schedule's been crazy. What do you have open this week or next week? Maybe she said, I loved it, and my eyebrows haven't grown much, but I definitely want to come in maybe another 5 weeks. Guess what I'm doing? I'm writing my calendar. 4 weeks from now, I reach out to her again. It's simple, not always easy on you because then they follow up again. But do you know what? It's a lot easier to get her to come back for her brow wax than to find another brow wax client. You are nurturing her. Nurturing her may seem like, well, why would I nurture her when I could just get 10 new clients? Well, there are going to be people that just book and they rebook and they come and they're just easy clients and they're great clients and we love them. Make our life so simple. But some people are not that systematic in their life. And as someone who used to be very systematic in my life, and I'm not systematic in my life anymore, I can tell you it's not because of you, it's because of me. And it's because of things out of my control. I would love to be systematic in my life again. But in some ways, I am not at that point that I can do that again with my life. But I know one day I will. One day things will be much more predictable and I can schedule things more out in advance and things like that. But don't take their chaotic life as a red flag that they aren't a good client. If they consistently are rescheduling and not actually coming in and those are red flags. But if they just can't schedule now, but they can like a week out or 2 weeks out, that's fine. You just got to do the work. You have to do the work at that point, not they have to do the work. It takes seconds to follow up with people. Okay, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your day. Do the simple thing that you know you need to do. Okay, bye.